Hello students, in this short video I'm going to show you how to use Visual Studio 2010 for C++ programming. This will apply after you have already installed Visual Studio 2010. Any addition is fine. The steps I'm going to show you will apply to almost all the editions of 2010. If you don't know how to install it, talk to me. Since my computer already has an installation, I don't want to remove that and install again to show how to do that, but I can help you on one-to-one basis as how to install it. So after installation, we find Visual Studio 2010, and it will be this green and purple donut, and we click on that. Now first time when it starts, it might ask you that for which environment you want it to be optimized. So you choose C++ development environment and then click OK, and it'll make you wait for a while before it comes up. When it comes up, and it's still loading actually, and it might come up something like that, might be a little different, but it doesn't matter. What you do is you click on File, New, and Project. The meaning of the project is, although we are going to create only one file of our own in Visual Studio, it adds some of its own file for overall code management. So don't be frightened by the word project. And looks like there are some videos on net for the Visual Studio 2010 overview. Okay. So notice I was using it for Visual Basic earlier, so I go here and click on Visual C++, and if you want you can minimize this, other languages. If your environment was optimized for some other thing like Visual Basic, then Visual C++ will be under other languages in that case. Otherwise, if it was optimized for C++, this will be on the top. What we are going to do in this class 1173, CIT 1173, only work with console applications, and I chose a location, but by default location will be under Documents, Visual Studio 2010, Projects. But you can just browse and choose any location you like. Right now I have a project that I'm going to create on the desktop. And let's imagine we are just going to create a first program, so we say first, okay, and this is going to be a little slow because when I make this video it just chews up the RAM. CPP program, so everything will be a little bit slower, and then I click OK, and then you'll come up with the second screen here. We click on application setting and we choose empty project and we click on finish. And once again, this is going to be slower than what you might see because making these videos takes a lot of RAM. Okay, there are 4 of these yellow folders. Right now we will not worry about any of them except source file. Source file has to do with the C++ source code. We right click on that, we say add new item. A little bit later we'll show you if you want to add an existing file, but right now add new item. And all the C++ program file that we are going to be writing for a while have this .cpp extension, and we can give it a name. I'm going to write a program which just prints hello world on the console, so I'm just going to call it hello world. Okay, and click Add. We're going to come up with this blank sheet of paper here, and since no design or programming language wants you to learn how to interact with the hardware, certain programs have already been written for you to interact with the hardware. Interaction with the hardware has to do like getting input from the keyboard or printing output to the console or the monitor. So first line of the program called number include Iostream. This simply tells us that there is a piece of software called inside a file called Iostream that we will be using, and that's include means it gets included into our program. And this Iostream has a location in a namespace. Namespace is like a folder, and that namespace is called std. So notice first line does not need a semicolon, but the second line does. Each C++ program starts with ends with a semicolon. And you are probably hearing some noise because air conditioner just started. So we're going to have to put up with that. Each C++ program has a function called main. It returns a value int. If you don't understand that right now, don't worry about it. Think line 4 as a bunch of, in fact all the line 1, 2 and 4 as magic words. And we are going to output to screen, cout, these words, hello world. And also we don't want to print anything else in that line, so I do \n, that means hey, take anything else to the next line, and semicolon. Again, program statements have to end with semicolon. Cout means output to the console. These double arrows have to move to your left as you look at the program. They have to be exiting on this edge here. Okay, you cannot reverse the order. You cannot make them, okay, so you cannot make them like this. That's not for cout. Okay, last line is return 0. Again, we won't worry about those magic words for now, and really we are only concerned about line 6, which outputs to the console hello world. Then there are two steps in the process. First we compile the program and then we run it. For compiling we say build solution, or you can press F7, and it'll say build started. Again, as I said, it's going to be a little slow, and it says build succeeded. When it says that, that means your program has no compile errors. Just to show you how compile error looks like, I'm going to make one error on purpose, and notice you get a red line here. It says it expects a semicolon, and if I ignore that, I say build solution, I will get a compile error. So it says 0 succeeded, 1 failed. It says missing semicolon before return, and if I click here, it takes me the same line number which has the red line, and again if I put the semicolon back, which is required, and build it again, will be fine. Okay, build succeeded. So this is a compile error free program. Please pay attention to that. We are not accepting any assignments that have compile error. If you have a compile error, that's a big problem. See me right away, as soon as possible. Then to run program, we say start without debugging. If you do here, it will open and close very quickly. You won't be able to see the output, and you can see hello world here. you try to type hello world here, same thing. This output is not from your program, this is added from the Visual Studio. So notice we don't have any words like that in our program. This is the only output. This comes from the Visual Studio, and of course if I press a key, the console goes away. So in summary, this is how to use Visual Studio for C++ programs. All the program we'll write for a while will be after this curly brace and before the return 0 statement. Basically in this space we might define some constants before main, but that's just about it. So please watch this video and understand how to use Visual Studio. Okay, yeah, I was going to show one more thing, how to add existing file. Okay, so for that, let me remove this one. Remove only, don't delete it. So if I already have a C++ file, I can add that to my project, and this time of course I'll do add existing item, and it just so happens it takes me to the same folder, but it could be located somewhere else. So I can navigate to anywhere the file I'm going to add is, and in this case I just want to add the same file that I removed earlier. Add it. Okay. Alright, open. Yeah, when I make these videos, double click doesn't work sometime because it's using so much RAM. Alright, so I got the file, and again the procedure does not change. I do the build solution. One succeeded, or it will say build succeeded here, and install without debugging, and I get my output just the same way. Okay, so in this video I've shown you how to, after installation of Visual Studio, how to build a very simple program and create a new source code file which is called CPP, or add an existing file to your project and run it. I'm going to stop here, and I'll see you in future videos. Thank you.